Good time zone, everyone. Thank you for coming and hanging out today. We're going to jump back into a Theros Beyond Death best of 3 traditional draft today. I was really been enjoying, well, I really enjoyed how yesterday doing best of 3 got me off the schneid, and we got some nice results for the first time in what felt like years. I know that's not true, but you know how feelings go. So I'm going to jump back in today. I do like the, we have a skill advantage in general on the system, and so going for the events that have the higher end payouts for the top results is good. And I like that. I like the sideboarding as well. I think Theros is a good sideboarding format. And also I do want to mention though that like we're close to, like, with 44 rare wild cards and 18 mythic rare wild cards. Can't really see the 18 under there, but basically we have 44 rare, 18 mythic rare. We could complete the Theros set right now if we just wanted to cash in these wild cards. And I do, you know, and if you just love, if you're OCD and just need to have the 4X and know that you've got 4X, sure, you can go do that. The way I'm approaching it, though, is that I'm not going to craft those cards just to get 4X. I will craft them should I ever need them for anything. If I decide to make a deck that needs them or whatever. My main goal here is really to play whatever magic I want for as little money as possible. And once I've achieved that, the details of micromanaging account stuff mean less to this account, you know. So I'm happy to play here, but basically what I'm getting at is that if I were not streaming, I would actually get off of this account right now. I'd go play on our secondary account, which because basically there's diminishing returns. We effectively have all the Theros we want and need. So if I were doing optimal micromanaging of my economy on these accounts, and because maybe I wasn't winning as much and my resources were low, once I get to 4x, basically 4x of a set on my main account, I'm going to start taking my limited play in that format to my side account. And that what that allows for is, instead of playing on a set here that has these diminishing returns of rewards, instead of getting cards towards a set we need, we're just getting some extra gems. An extra gem, you know, I love extra gems, but it's not really. I would rather, instead of get some extra gems via these prize packs, I would rather just play constructed on this account, build up our gold stores, and then enter into the next set with a ton of gold and no diminished gems, stacks of mythic rares and rare wild cards, so that basically when Ikoria comes out, we're ready for, like, I'm ready to do anything I want on that set as well. And but I am streaming, and because of that, I'm going to stay on my main account. I think it's fun for all of us to actually see the 4X happen when we get there eventually. But also, this account has more bling on it, and people, you know, I like to let people choose what sleeves and deck boxes, whatever, but sleeves and basic lands are something people have fun with, and we're going to stick here so that we can have more variety of those to choose from. But anyway, so I just wanted to call that out before we begin, that again, if you're like me and you have a main account that is closing in or has achieved 4X and you're still enjoying the limited format, you may want to consider creating a side account and playing your limited on a side account while you build up resources on your main account via casual constructed towards the next set. All right. And before we jump in, I'm going to mention my sponsor, Card Kingdom, of course. Card Kingdom is on hiatus for taking and distributing orders right now as we social distance and do stay indoor, you know, only going out if you need to right now, as we are trying to the best of our ability to save as many lives as we can through social distancing and all the other steps all of us are taking. Card Kingdom is taking that step as well. They are pausing their business along with so many others while we look to save lives. So thank you for doing that, Card Kingdom, for being a good social citizen. And we will get back to you with card orders as soon as you reopen for that. So thanks, Card Kingdom. Now let's check out our Pack One, Pick One. Here's draft view. Got one more question from Craig here. What would you recommend if you only have one account and aren't flush with gems and gold? Build and hold resources for the new set? I want you to have fun, Craig. If you're enjoying Theros Beyond Death drafting, you should keep doing it. You know, fundamentally, all of my advice is geared towards helping people find the most fun they can get out of the game. And so if you're single accounting and still enjoying yourself, just do it. Did I buy the new unlands with gems? No, because I kind of don't like them, but I suppose I could. We're flush. If people want to start buying some bling on this account, we absolutely can. Anyway, let's get to this pick. Thassa's Intervention at X Blue Blue is very good. We get to either, for 4 mana, basically draw 2, you add to it, and then you get to draw the best 2. But I like that it counters and or draws, depending on what you need in the moment. Of course, Mire's Grasp, classic first pick in this format, really. A first pick Mire's Grasp many a time now. But Fateful End, also an excellent removal spell, as is Warbriar Blessing. You take the playable gems, but I'm kind of enamored by this Mire's Grasp, especially with no other good black in the pack. It's a pretty good cutting of black, although frankly Intervention be a pretty good cutting of blue. Starlit Mantle's not a high pick, so I think if we took Intervention or Mire's Grasp, we would have a good chance at cutting those colors to the left if the packs support that. So I'm going to see what people think. We also, again, we're very flush on resources here, so we don't need to worry about gem drafting here. But if you're on an account that is really gem conscious, you're going to just want to take the playable gems basically every time. Because Intervention Grasp is a tough pick just in the abstract of power level. And so when you add in 20 gems, it should be pretty easy to take the gems for anybody who is gem concerned. We are not gem concerned on this account, so we're going to take whatever people think we should take. I'm leaning Grasp, but could take the Intervention if you want. I think we should definitely take one of these two, though. The 2-for-1 or just the super premium removal. All right, some support for Intervention, but mostly Grasp. I'm on it. No real black to cut here. That's the first thing I looked for. We have a Libation and a Fruit. A ton of blue. All of it playable. We got the Deny Whirlwind. We talked about that a lot yesterday, about these two counter spells. Which one's better? This is a hard counter that's narrow. This is a soft counter that's wide. But we wouldn't, that's not really the question here. It's Fishify or Witness if we take a blue card. We could just take a Commanding Presence and see if black-white auras is a thing we can do, starting with 2 auras in black-white. And also, then we send pretty strong blue signal downstream, and maybe we can, especially after having passed that blue rare, if we can continue to send blue cards downstream, we can try and get the bots downstream into blue, and we can avoid it. And again, this is not a thing I would worry too much about in a paper draft against humans. Humans are just too hard to figure out. But bots are easier to figure out, and they really will lock into blue if we can get them to take some blue cards. And I like that we can take this Commanding Presence without really failing to cut black. So let's take Commanding Presence. Okay, paid off big time. We got Spawn, which has got to be the pick. Maybe, although we are now, look at we got the 2 mythic uncommons and a solid Bleepus here, but we're really going to take one of these 2 uncommons. What do you think we should do? Timmy or Spawn? Wow, that's tough. They are both very good, but both do very different things. Looks like most of chat wants Spawn. I guess I won't vote it. Yeah, I think Deacon sums it up nicely. Spawn is generically better, but Tim completely hoses some decks. That's a good way to put it. It's also the cheaper one, but it's also the more mana-intensive one. We'll just take the Spawn. Yeah, it's really sad to say goodbye to Timmy, but Spawn is just, at this point, for pick 3, a nice generically powerful card. I'm surprised it's still here. The rare's gone. And then some common was taken over this with these 3 uncommons available. We'll take Spawn. Horn Beetle. It's powerful. The only white card here is Courser, so we're kind of being cut off of green, of white. We could take Officify again, but, you know, we've passed a ton of blue. You know, there comes a point where you could just say, look, fine, I know I'm sending the wrong signals to the left, but we're just receiving these blue signals and we got to do something about it. So we could do that. But again, yeah, we haven't seen much green yet. I like taking the Horn Beetle and hedging towards a possible black-green instead. So let's take the Beetle. This card is nuts. This card does so much. And then look at this. We get a Blessing along with a Return to Nature and a Binding. I think we're finding our lane here, and it's looking like it's going to be black-green. Certainly not passing this Blessing. Yeah, it's not the easiest to, like, this is not the best home for the Beetle. But my goodness, it's a, I have played 2 1s for 2 with no upside because I needed to fill it in the curve. The fact that you can throw this in as just a Grizzly Bear and then at some point, I mean, it's green. Like, so fundamentally, while green-black is not the easiest way to get 4 power, green is pretty easy to get 4 power. So it kind of just works because it works with its own color. But we're going to take Blessing and see what else we can snag here. Oh, yeah, we are in the right place. Charger, playable. Although, you know, Omen a little tempting here. But not with the Spider, though. We're just going to take the Armchair. And in this black-green style deck, I love a Relentless Pursuit. Well, I don't love it. I actually have come down on this card a bit because really, in our heads, we treat this like a divination. Oh, we're going to draw 2 and put 3 cards in our graveyard. We're going to draw 1.6, right? Like at some percentage of the time, you're only getting 1 card off of the reveal. And that does hurt the value of this compared to like the black one. I'd rather just have the black one and get 2 guaranteed random cards as opposed to a selection that may only end up with 1. Someone wants the Soul Reaper. That's a fair suggestion. We could also take Cling to Dust. This is best of 3, so Cling to Dust out of the board is actually nice. But yeah, I think I don't want a bunch of these. I just want like 1, and I think we'll get one of these eventually. I think it should actually be Cling to Dust or Relentless Pursuit. And I think I've actually talked myself out of Relentless Pursuit and into Cling to Dust because we are it's looking like we're green-black. I would rather just try to find the black version of this rather than the Relentless Pursuit. And we might even wheel like the Binding. Maybe the Binding comes back. So I'm going to take Cling, but we're going to probably start it in the board. But it's a nice tool to have out of the board in best of 3. All right, this is great looking. Again, just feels like we're in the right place. I'm going to take Setessan Training. It is not, the ceiling on this card isn't great, but the floor is pretty great. The floor of being able to cast this when your opponent's shields are down and guaranteeing that card draw, and the trample is no joke. There's a lot of big stuff in this format that does not have evasion. And yeah, Omen, if we splash, we'll splash, but I'm not going to take the Omen hedging towards a splash when we have a fantastic card like Setessan Training. In fact, if the Training wasn't here, I would just actually take the Berserker as well. And pick 9. This opening pack had a Grove Dancer and a Warbriar Blessing, but that was the only green in the pack. And this was the only other black in the pack besides our Myers Grasp. So it's good to see that only one card in a very premium card in our colors was taken out of this pack. And we tried to get the bots into blue, but maybe weren't super successful. I was hoping these would not be here, actually, but or at least there were 4 blue cards in this pack. 2 of them are gone. I think there was a Fishify and a Witness. So they did take, the bots took a couple of blue cards, but I was hoping they would take 3. They didn't, but it's okay. Take a Hunt Master there. And here's the Soul Reaper. This is where I want to get Soul Reapers, towards the end of packs. I don't think we're ever playing any of these with how we've started here. Plummet out of the board with pick 13 is fantastic. We are long gone on making a Hippocamp happen for us. Although if we had started with that blue rare, maybe we'd be have a decent blue deck right now. I like our deck, though. I'm not complaining. We could just take another training, but I think I'm going to take a Caryatid. We all understand the weakness of the Caryatid. 1 toughness, easily killable by favor and just about anything. But ramp is ramp. I mean, there's a reason Moxen are insane, right? Because when you jump your mana curve up by 1, it is really impactful. And so, yeah, the training is good. I bet the training wheels, though. The bots value Caryatid more than training, I think. And so that's part of what I'm doing here. Also, this is a format where you can easily find yourself a little lower on creatures than you wanted. We have Mire's Grasp and Spawn. And I really think the bots are going to be pretty heavily blue. And I don't think this is a particularly amazing card. It does not attack or block well as a 3-mana creature. And you really need to be doing the other opponent's turn thing. It's not like this is Constellation. If this were Constellation, I would splash this. But this is... what are we doing to trigger this so far? No, 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 and no. What a great synergistic card, right? Like, no, we're not doing that. We're too far away from it. You could argue the training, but as I said, I think this is going to wheel, and I want to make sure we get our creature count. If this doesn't wheel, this will. And ramping to 4 can really be nice. Like, for example, if you have a Renata. Like, I don't love a Renata because, frankly, she's a bit slow, but if we can curve into her off Caryatid, I'm in love. You haven't seen Punchy yet, my friend. All right, now this is a tougher spot because, as pointed out, we're only really two cards into the black, and Caryatid does give us some splash potential. The Blessing looks like the best card here. But we could also just take a Bleepus, although obviously Bleepus not amazing when we're heavy green, light black. We could also take a Favor, just do that. Maybe a hedge to the Blessing, though. Green does support splashing, and the opportunity cost of hedging on Blessing is like, again, these fairly weak... I mean, there's 6 green and black cards here, but none of them really excite me as a pick 3. So I think I take the Blessing, and then we just see what wheels from this pack. Hat doesn't think it's worth pivoting for. Maybe Bleepus is a fine pick. I'm gonna hedge a little bit though. Just not seeing the amazing black to make me want to commit there. Herald pretty easy here though. I do want to return to nature, but not over a playable 3-drop where we are very, very weak. Here's another Caryatid, but I'm not going to pass a Typhon. This is how we get the Beetle going if we can't find green Chimeras. Whoa. And now we get a Wanderer here. The bots don't seem interested in green this draft, and we're just going to try and make that work for us. I wouldn't mind a Forerunner. Wouldn't even mind a Viper or a Favor if we stay black, but Wanderer is the clear pick to me here. More Spidey. I would take 2 of those over anything else I see here. Huh. Well, I guess a big stupid dude when you got a training and are going to try and wheel one here. isn't the worst. Training wheeled along with the Grove Dancer, so I'm glad that I was right on that call. But now with the Wanderer, do we want the Grove Dancer instead of the Training? Oh no, Training is fine with Wanderer too. They both trigger. So yeah, let's take Training again. Hunt Master's fine. We already have one, and we have a Typhon, and we have pretty deep at 4. I'm gonna cut the splashable stuff here just so we see. Although I don't even know we're black per se. We could cut everything but the green and just see. You know. Like, this is really where we're at. What do we want to pair with this? But I'm going to take the Training here. Impending Doom could make us red-green. We have some tools for the Doom. We could just take a Forerunner, since we know we're green, or a Hunt Master. I think if we take a green card, we just take Forerunner. Yeah, I'll just take Forerunner. It's like, I think maybe the Doom Foretold has bigger upside, but with where we're at, heck, maybe we'll be mono green. I mean, and Grove Dancer here is fine too. Here's another Forerunner or First Viper. Second Forerunner, First Viper. What do you think? Because Forerunner, it could be very important here. I mean, we do have a couple trainings doing the Forerunner thing. But yeah, we do have a Warbriar Blessing to use with the Viper. Yeah, let's see if we can get some Chimeras in the third pack. Yeah, we have one fight. So it's not like we're doing a ton of fighting here. But I also think we're probably going to have another option for a Forerunner too. I'll take the Viper. Let's go with the cheaper option. Aspect of Manticore is totally playable. So we have some Blessing Manticore action on that front. We have Grasp Spawn action on the black front. Well, every one of our rares has been blue, so maybe we missed the blue boat, but of course you don't know that going in. We could still even be blue, but I don't think we want to be blue at this point for a double blue card. Nah, we're not going to do that. We could take an Omen of the Forge and hedge red, but another Renata is fine. We'll take another Renata and continue to see where we're going. Oh, this is an interesting pack. The Brawler, of course, leapt out at me, but we do have a second Blessing and a first Chimera. What do you think? Should we just take the Brawler? Or is the Chimera important enough as a Beetle supporter to get the... Steven thinks we might wheel one of the others. We'll certainly wheel the Hunt Master. So, like, we have a Hunt Master to fall back on. I don't know if we're going to wheel the Blessing or the Chimera, but if we do, that's amazing. So let's go ahead and take the 2-for-1 high-end card, and then see where we go from here. And look, we're getting some clarity on what to do, because it's hard to pass an Acolyte of Affliction. Given what else we have going on here. So this makes me want to bring our black back in. We do need 3s. This is a sad state of affairs for 3s, but I'm not going to like take a Relentless Pursuit because of that. We'll take an Acolyte here and just keep an eye on our 3s and know that it's an issue. Probably not playing the Hunt Master if we take this, though. Not a 3, but we'll take Binding in this escape-ish deck. It's not a heavy escape deck, but Binding is fine. Oh yeah, we can take Rights. Mike's right. I was talking about how I want this over the green one, and it is a 3. All right, let's take the Rights instead. Similar card. Similar card. There's another Rights. That makes me wish I had the Binding, but of course we didn't know that at the time of the pick. Would we take a second Rights? Maybe. Just super grind? All right. A Gary, pick 6. Nothing else for us, unless we're going to splash, so I'll take Gary. We'll see if we run him. It's not exactly the best Gary deck here. Triton is a nice pickup here, 7th, though. Here's another 3, which I like over a second Cling to Dust. And pick 9, Plummet for the board. I think the next pick is the one where we were hoping for some wheels. Let's see if we got any of our green wheels, right? Only the Huntmaster. Yeah, green really did dry up. I don't know if some other bots got into it late or something, but yeah, that hurt. We can take a Aspect, but I think just another Huntmaster is fine. Deck looks solid. It's maybe a touch under where I was hoping we would end up after how well I thought it was going by the middle of the second pack. Hey, Cardinator, welcome. Good time zone to you. No grind today, and 5 cuts. What have we got? Also, no return to natures. 22 creatures, so we really want to find our worst creatures and cut those. I think I can let the Colossus go, and we just have this 6 is our high end. I'm gonna cut the Huntmaster. Yeah, Huntmaster works with some stuff, but we have, I mean, it's still, I think, the weakest 4, right? And I don't want to be too stacked at 4. Yeah, Deacon, sometimes it just breaks that way, right? There was definitely, I mean, especially if we knew that all 3 of our opened rares would be playable blue. Yeah, I like 1 Soul Reaper as a cut. And let's cut, where's our worst 2s? Maybe one of these Dancers. I like both Arachnirs. I would cut a Viper before an Arachnir. I really like getting these out. We don't have any other flying defense either besides killing stuff, so I want to make sure we find one of these. Yeah, Gary's probably a good cut, right? We're not really doing the Black Devotion thing here. I kind of like that. Anybody see anything dramatic? They're like, no, that's so wrong, Ryan. You should be playing that Huntmaster over that. Here, I can get into the deck building view too. That should help you with. So, what? Let's see. This draft was about being monocolored and looking for the pair. You know, I don't know. Some people like cutting 1 rights for an Aspect. That's interesting. I think I'm gonna keep 2 rights for now, but I'll ask myself if we have a rights if we wouldn't rather have an Aspect and see what we think. Mike wants the Huntmaster in over one of the ones. Well then, if you want to cut a 1, we're cutting the Viper because I really like the chain webs a lot. But we do have enough going on the ground where we could argue that Moss Viper as ground defense is not really what we need. So I could be convinced of that. Something like that. And yeah, I think we go 10-7 on these. Got to change them to the right ones anyway. All right. Okay. April Fool's sleeves, says Foil King. What does that mean? Let's figure out what's the most April Foolish. Is it, we can use these new ones. This looks like an April Fool right there. Oh, I see. It really is April Fool's. So funny, Magic. What's their extra color? Purple? I thought somebody was making an April Fool's joke before. But okay. We'll go with April Fool's Magic. You got it. All right. Oh, I didn't name it. We got to name this. Fool's Errand. And what's the most foolish looking card we have? I don't know. You're a fool, Huntmaster. What would the basic land for the color purple be? Yeah, see, this is why a 6th color is actually a real... one of the many reasons that adding a 6th color would be super challenging. Ooh, that's a good point. Let's put fruit as the box art for a Fool's Errand deck. All right, let's jump in. We're going to play, and going to be reasonably happy about this opener. We'll keep it. I just love seeing both my colors of land. It makes me so happy. even a measly 2. Find any land, we get a Funeral Rites to find some more. Grove Dancer on 2, or Mire's Grasp if something ridiculous happens here. All right, found our 3rd land. So we get at least a Funeral Rites next turn. It's not what I want to be doing on 3, honestly. We want to be adding more aggressive stuff to the board when possible early in a Magic game. But it's nice to have something to do. Yeah, Black Omen or the rare removal spell. Sometimes it's the rare removal spell when you see the single black mana pause. I didn't see if they paused before we had a target, though. I guess even the black rare can target graveyards and stuff, so it doesn't even need a target. All right, so we would offer the Grove Dancer for the Piper. We have a lot of escape, so eventually escaping stuff would be fine. I'm not going to Mire's Grasp here. Let's just offer the Grove Dancer and then Funeral Rites. Mike says, hold the Dancer. I obviously elected not to. That worked out for us. We got a spawn in the yard. Nice place for that, as long as they don't use Timuret or something to exile this before we can get value. I try not to main deck this, especially best of 3, where you can actually just bring this out of the board when it is relevant. But it tends to be the irrelevant Revelers in terms of its effect on the game. We could Grasp and Bless here and just wipe their board, but also simply dropping a Huntmaster creates a creature that's bigger than anything they've got. So I'm just gonna Just gonna Hunt Master. Next turn we have Herald plus Blessing or Grasp, which I think will be a great turn. Maybe we want to bless so that we can like bless the Hunt Master and then herald it. Deacon Black points out that this is like all of our removal, kind of, but we've got Spawn, Blessing, Grasp, and then Acolyte to get back Grasp. So even though it is all of it, we have we have quite a bit of it here, and got lucky here. Blessing is just the perfect answer to the Shepherd, right? We get to bless the Hunt Master and play the Herald. Now, we can't attack with the Hunt Master unless we want to give it up for one of these, since it's got 3 damage on it. But we will pump up the Grove Dancer instead and see if they want to take a trade for that. All right. Happy to get the 2-for-1 here. I mean, an 0/1 goat creature is some percentage of a card, but it's certainly not a full card. And this is 3 other cards, and we have 3 other cards already. Unfortunately, yeah, interesting. I guess we just take the straight up 4/5, and then we can get back the Herald if we want using Acolyte. We get a 2-spell turn here. Probably Caryatid Acolyte. And then, well, let's see if they want to... I'm going to offer them a block. Okay, great. I mean, now, by getting rid of that goat token, we can spawn away the Shepherd if that's what they go for. And so I'm just going to go for Caryatid Acolyte here. I guess we start with Acolyte. Ooh, Renata. Let's go for the Renata. Although Herald might just be the more aggressive choice. We might just close out the game faster with Herald than Renata at this point. And next turn, next turn we're probably going to bring back the Spawn no matter what, which actually is further support for the Herald. I think Renata is better for a game that is looking to go longer than I think this one hopefully will, so I'm going to take the Herald. So if they don't come up with a 1-mana creature here, okay, they did, but unfortunately not going to work out for them because we have it all. Because why wouldn't we? Well, actually, let's see. No, we don't have it all, right? We kill the Eidolon, they get an Eidolon copy. We spawn, they get the Eidolon copy, but then they are at least under a huge amount of pressure. So, we could also send in and see if they chump the Eidolon. We can also... I'd also 2-for-1... Yeah, I'm going to send in everything, because if they block anything with the... If they block with the Shepherd at all, we get to Mire's Grasp it away. So let's just send in and see how Oppo wants to block here. They could even put the Eidolon on the Caryatid. But yeah, I didn't think they would. This is great for us. Because now we just grasp. We can grasp and... Oh, we can't grasp and spawn. So let's grasp and Herald. All still good. Oppo favoring to draw cards. We can keep the favor in mind as we look at our Caryatid. Maybe we cut the Caryatid, given the presence of the favor. Triton is at risk, too, against the favor. Adelar, they favored their own creature there because they needed more answers than they had, so they were digging by drawing a card there. Plummet. We could bring in Plummet for the Shepherd, although unlikely to see much other flying here. Might be worth a single Plummet, though, because it's just so good. It's so hard to beat. It's like it's the good card in our opponent's deck. I think we cut Caryatid. Could even consider cutting Triton, just getting rid of all of our 1 toughness, and just put back a Grove Dancer even to hold the ground early, and just not give him anything for the favor. Chainweb and Brawler. Chainweb, yeah. We have 3 ways to get rid of the flyer. Maybe. Do you think Plummet's overkill? Oh, that's true, Adelwar. They would have drawn a card off our Caryatid. They could have done it that way, right? I don't know. I think I'm going to try the Plummet, but maybe I'm being greedy here. By the way, also, I was happier with the Funeral than an Aspect when we drew the Funeral. I'm going to run this back like so. Yeah, Plummet's a little bit excessive, but I see an opponent with a bunch of cards I don't respect and 1 Incredible Bomb. I kind of want to be really stacked against the Incredible Bomb. So that's what I was thinking. I don't know why it didn't give me a sounding horn, but 1-star Peeps. A little raid, but I'll take it. Welcome. Yeah, I don't mind Overkill versus Nightmare Shepherd, specifically against an opponent that seems like to have a weak deck otherwise. I think that's an important note about this, is that I'm loading up against the only card Oppo has showed us so far that I'm legit scared of. I think going second is a bit fancy play. They might be just thinking about this is grindy or whatever, but I like getting out in front here. We could even offer the Chainweb. If they want to kill it, we get it in the yard, which is kind of where we want it anyway. If they don't kill it, we get in for 1. I don't want to get into the yard and then have them exile it from the yard. That would stink, but I'll say no attacks. We can block if they want to, but they're not going to attack. We've got a 1/3 that completely neutralizes that. All right, there you go. There's where we're going to block with our Chainweb. And again, we're in a spot where we don't have a preferable 3-drop, but our 3-drops are pretty light, so having anything to do on 3 is good. We want Renata back. We could get her with the Acolyte, but right now we can't cast her anyway, so it's actually a solid mill there. Job for the Chainweb, for sure. All right. Yeah, I like spawn here too. Let's get this going. Go ahead, kill it. What's the worst magic card ever printed? And I love the word worst because it's very subjective. What do I mean by worst? You tell me. Shoot, we are... Well, let's just play a Hunt Master here. We could Acolyte of Affliction if we just want to hit our land drop, actually. Like, we could Acolyte for land. But I think just dropping Hunt Master is fine. We can do what we did in game 1, potentially, which is if we find a forest, we get to go Herald, Blessing into Herald on the Hunt Master, which is nice. Some interesting choices out there. I like, so far, I think the best answer to the worst card ever printed, Hida is onto something there with banding lands. I still think just Sorrow's Path is the worst card ever printed because it is awful and complicated. So I think, and that's why I like about Hida's choice. Like, as a designer, it's easy to find cards that are awful, but finding cards that are awful and complex, those are the worst. All right, we are short on land here, but we are holding Oppo back, at least for the time being. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and bless this Marauder. Let's get big. Like, what does Sorrow's Path even do? Like, look at that card. I mean, people were designing Magic cards at that point in time who had no clue how to design Magic cards because they just needed Magic cards printed. But I would love to talk to the designer of Sorrow's Path and just be like, what were you thinking? Well, we're having a hard time getting to 5 mana, but it's not mattering. Oppo is like, I can't beat you. I'm at 20 life. You win. Okay. One of the things about best of 3 is that you do, like, especially if you're an excellent player, like maybe you're a high-ranked player. I don't know if it's whether it's a positive or a negative depends on your attitude towards the whole experience, but you do face worse opponents in best of 3, I think, because they're not, especially match 1, because match 1 is just anybody else in the system who is 0-0 in Theros best of 3. So we have no idea, well, we have some idea of how experienced our first round opponent was. Yeah, he has the cleverness problem of a lot of early Magic cards. Like, oh, let's do a Magic card that does this. And then, like, in order to make that happen, you just have to bend over backwards and it ends up not quite being worth it. This is a clear mulligan. And this is a clear keep. The only tough part is what we're going to give up here. And I think I'll give up a forest. It's a little greedy, but we have Chainweb into Wanderer, and then any land gets us Herald, which should find us some more land because of the Wanderer. It's pretty greedy. We could get rid of, like, the Chainweb even, and just try and curve out Wanderer into Herald into Renata. Yeah, Mike's right. I'm being too greedy. We can we'll ditch the Spider and just assure this curve out into Renata. It's more powerful. I don't know if they... I'm sure there's heavy Oko regret in R&D still. Some of the biggest mistakes of all time, though, have to be like the... well, just Darksteel. The Mirrodin and Darksteel. Urza's block also pretty busted. Yeah, you're right. But the Skull Clamp story is pretty classic and funny. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, they made the lesson of Skull Clamp. For those of you, like, we should bring up Skull Clamp. Not everybody knows what it is. Somebody bring up Skull Clamp in the chat. But basically, Skull Clamp, right before print, gave +1/+1. Like, it was just it was all positive. To the power and toughness, and then somebody decided that was too powerful. What is the danger of blocking here? How could we be punished with a block? It feels like it's just a like, because if they have sorry to sidetrack from the Skull Clamp story, but basically I don't think I can't think of a card that kills the Wanderer if we block, but not if we don't. Yeah, but Grasp gets it anyway, Sonny. That's my point. It got, but it was going to get got anyway. Anyway, so back to Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp was almost going to be shipped out with its current wording, except creature gets +1/+1, and someone decided that that was too powerful. Like, giving these creatures a full, a power and toughness boost was too good. This is a similar situation, right? So yeah, I'll block again. And then... and so they put it as +1/-1 instead, which is what broke the card. The fact that you could equip a 1 toughness creature, snap, kill it, and draw 2 is what made it a broken card. So in an attempt to weaken the card before launch, they in fact strengthened it. And that actually led to significant changes in R&D philosophy around late changes to cards. They are very gun-shy about late changes now. Here, I'll play Renata so that we can get on with this. Do we offer Herald even? You could offer Herald for the Hierophant with... I should have, of course... I wasn't going to, so I just played Renata, but now I'm thinking we might. I'm going to try and find removal for that Hierophant, though. We'll just say no for now. Now I forget what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, I was going to say a shift in philosophy around, like, if you decide that you are unhappy with a card late and you want to make a change, now they make safer changes. Like, there was I think it was in one of the core sets. I want to say M14, M15, maybe even, one of those final core sets where there's a mythic that just, like, gains a ton of life. Like, that's all it does. It's like some huge amount of life gain. And that was a total last-minute hole-filling, like, okay, we're killing this mythic. We need a safe mythic to print. What's this, and so, like, what looks mythic but can't possibly break anything, and they're like, huge life gain. But it was a last-minute, throw this card in, see what happens type deal. All right, now maybe we do offer the Herald. They got a lot of mana open. I'm going to offer the Herald. And then drop a big Typhon if they accept the trade. Dark Ascension, was that it? Thank you. I thought it was a core set, but you're right. It was Archangel's Light in Dark Ascension was a last-minute hole fill. The fact that they traded and have a bunch of mana up make me think we might get our Typhon exiled here. But I'm also not going to not try our cards. Yeah. We just had to do it, you know? We're going to draw other cards and make other big things. Well, Deacon, what's your plan then? I mean, if we had anything else, okay. But are we just going to wait till next turn for them to counter it then? Well, Paul, not only did the card sucked, it sucked to have to print something so not powerful in that set, but you know, it was safer. I can't sit there. I gotta, you know, keep going. And here we get a beetle. Ooh, a lot of choices. What do we want? Beetle does not get bigger. Oh, it would actually, because Renata would grow, right? So we could get the beetle and it would actually start growing. Blessing could kill something. Let's get the beetle. We can play it right now and it starts to grow. Flooding a little bit here. Not extreme. For all we know, Oppo's in a similar situation. Hoping for some action there. Didn't get it. Gonna start offering the Acolyte for the Hierophant, though. Not gonna offer Renata or Hornbeetle, but let's offer the Acolyte. Death Touch doing decent work against us here. Yeah, there's the Thirst that they could have cast if we didn't continue to try and apply pressure with that card, the creature that got countered. Woof. That's going to be tough for us. They already have the fuel quite amply. Bye-bye, Acolyte. Do we have a binding or something? What else do we have? Do we have anything else that gets that back? No, we didn't end up with a binding. I don't see anything in our deck that gets stuff out of the yard. So all other, if it doesn't have escape naturally, we ain't getting it back. Rights is nice. That was a terrible rights. Other than it did get a couple cards out of the way, but that's not what we wanted. Come on. Can't even block a spawn because they could just bring it back, and we're not ready for them to do that yet. Oh, sure, Oppo can find gasoline. At least now we could find a way to kill the spawn and have something to sack to it. We have no enchantment removal, in case anyone's wondering. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, slightly better deck from Oppo too, no doubt. Yep, we'll get our chance to redeem ourselves. At least good to see bottom from the scry. Even though it means it was a, quote, good scry for them, better than having what they need right on top. Fiddles, that's cool. Fiddles, understatement of the year. I know you didn't get all the way through the first one. Unless you mean first one, by first one you mean first campaign, first story, first chapter. But I know I'm super excited for anybody getting some extra Gloomhaven content. Just cuz, I guess. Gloomhaven is a great game. I just couldn't get my family into it, and therefore I don't play it. I have a hard time getting my family into games. I'm like, it's sad. My kids like games. They just don't like tabletop strategy games. Possibly because I always beat them. But it's been a long time since that's a reasonable excuse. I mean, we haven't played forever. I'm kind of talking about other stuff besides this game because I think we've lost. We've flooded way too much and everything's slipped away. And now I guess we'll block with the armchair and try to bring it back to trade with the Hierophant. Oh, early on, Tsuname, sure. Like, nobody can lose a game of Candyland like me. I can lose, like, Candyland, I am an expert loser. But when your kids get a little bit older and they don't want you to go easy on them, they know that you're taking it easy, well, then it's like, then it gets tough because they don't want you to go easy on you, but they also just don't want to play you. Are we dead? Whatever. Yeah, Lampad's gonna get us. Make him do it, though. Oh yeah, Tsuname, you want my... Well, no, here's the secret. Although, it no longer works because the old school Candyland had a deck of move cards, and you draw a move card, right? That's how you can cheat. You need to go to a thrift store and make sure you find a Candyland model that has cards. The spinner doesn't do it. Now they have a spinner, and that doesn't do it. But here's how you do it: you take the cards and put all of the character cards on the bottom. Like, stack the deck to put character cards on the bottom of the deck. And then when 2-year-olds, it turns out they don't look at they're very good at missing sleight of hand. So all you have to do is, as you want to, move one of the character cards to the top of the deck when it's their turn to draw, and you can hop them around anywhere on the board you want. And basically, or here's the simple way to do it. This is even simpler. Find Queen Frostine. Find the Queen Frostine card and put that in your pocket. Put it in your pant. Like, hide the Queen Frostine card. And whenever you're done with Candyland, you slip that Queen Frostine card to the top of the deck right before your kid draws, and they're like, Queen Frostine, oh my goodness. And then, like, now they're 10 steps away from the end. And then you just make sure they don't get... The thing about having all the character cards is because your Queen Frostine plan can be undone if they accidentally get another character card and get sent backwards. So you got to make sure they get Queen Frostine and then don't get sent back by anything else. You did it, Oppo. So yeah, I used to cheat in my kids' favors, but then once they stopped wanting me to do that, once they saw what was up and didn't want that anymore, then the games just kind of stopped. Blue suggests maybe some flyers, but we really didn't see any. It's more of a ground grind here, and very grindy. We definitely want that cling, as pointed out. There's some life gain. We're not going to play that. Not bringing in any plummets because we didn't see any reason to. You bring in a Viper. Best solo board game for the apocalypse. Well, you can play like Pandemic with yourself, can't you? Feels like that's on theme. Yeah, they have two favors. We could cut the Caryatid again. And the Triton. That's what we did last time against even just one. So we could bring... And one is the Cling, and then we can bring in a Soul Reaper. Just add to our threes a little bit, actually. Or maybe just add some beef. Grove Dancer would be okay, too. I think I don't want to go big because they have Death Touch and stuff. But we also need to be able to... Maybe I'll just play another Hunt Master. I want to be able to trade for their Death Touchers and stuff. So let's do this. Good job, Mama. Way to create a monster. Our kind of monster. Yeah, Vargan, I'm actually not a huge Pandemic fan, but I'm not a huge co-op fan. Although that may be how I get my son to play Gloomhaven with me, is if we approach it. Let's go on a campaign together, son. You and me against Gloomhaven. We're going first. If we funeral rites on... Okay, on the play, we don't discard, right? We go 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4... Yeah, so we can keep... I'm going to keep knowing that we can rites on 3 with any land. A little greedy, but it's the funeral rites that makes me want to keep this. And the spawn that we can make good use of after a funeral rites. And we have 10 forests, so we were likely to find a forest. More forests, and yeah, first play being rights is not amazing, but we don't have to discard, so I'm going to do it. I'm just glad they played something. I didn't want to have to figure out my next turn into open counter mana. I was just going to go Typhon. We could go Wanderer and train the Wanderer to make use out of the Wanderer. Then it becomes a 2/3. But we don't want to trade off for the 3/2. So I'm going to go with the spawn here. Spawn or Typhon? Typhon's bigger. Spawn, I'm more inclined to want to get down through exile counterspells. And yeah, training the Typhon is nice, giving it trample, though. All right, we'll go for biggest power. I know we don't want it exiled. That's kind of my point of deciding what we don't want either of these exiled, though, so... And then next turn, you know, if they're holding counter magic and our play next turn is Wanderer plus training, well then, you know, they got to counter one or the other. They don't get both. It was in their graveyard, yeah. In fact, I have a little opponent deck. Oh, it's not remembering? Oh. I'm using untapped.gg tools, and they do have an opponent deck tool, but not that is functioning in a way that works for me here. So yeah, we're gonna offer up the Wanderer. They probably exile it with a deny, but then we can put training on the Typhon. Okay, they let that happen. That's interesting. Well, now if they want to deny the training, I'm fine with that too. Like, deny for training would be excellent. It clears the way for Spawn and Forerunner. So maybe this is a Thirst. Oh, no land. That's unusual. But don't worry, we got one. we got a land eventually. Jeez. Trouble is, like, maybe we could conceivably offer a trade, but it just untaps that. I'm just gonna say no. Well, yeah. Do we want to make this trade or not? We do get just this sets us up to get it back. That's fine. Let's do it. Let's work towards a 7/7. Also, we get a nice 4 damage with the trample. Thirst indeed. And now let's see if they hold up anything. If they tap out or tap down to 2 or less, all the counters that we care about are 3+ mana. I don't think is there even a 2 mana counterspell in the set? Huh. Oppo thinking hard. Ditches the Black Omen. What is coming here, do you think? Mike with the technicalities. Oh ho! What did they exile? Omen. Okay. Interesting. We could cling. We can cling their favor. And we would draw a card for that. That seems pretty good. And if they want to counter that, they can't counter. Oh, yeah, they're out of counter range. Yeah, Cling Forerunner seems great here. Let's start with the Cling. See what we draw. Mike wants the Spawn out now. Mike thinking more important to get this through counter magic than the Forerunner. But now I'm thinking Renata is the new hotness. We'll do that. Funny. Kling's going to do some work. East doesn't want to draw any more lands because you think we're going to lose to... Yeah, East, but... I'm not playing this. I'm not going to start playing this game. I mean, this is somewhat of a concern, but we have the Kling, so... I really think we should go for just straight winning this thing and not worrying about decking. Nessian Wand, you can always fail to find. I don't care if you have to look. You don't have to find anything. You never have to find, right? I could just read the card, I suppose, but... All right, they are tapped out of blue at least, so I'm just gonna make a big Typhon. Oh yeah, I was too busy talking. That's classically, if I think I make the correct blocks there if I'm not streaming. I'll do that. There we go. The way it's tapping down the mana suggests they don't even have a blue card in hand. Now I will do better about blocking. Let's block a 2/3. We can even chump here and help fuel our graveyard stuff. Again, we don't have any way to save Renata. The only reason to keep Renata around would be to try and block something even bigger later. But I like getting Renata in the yard. We have Spawn and Cling to Dust. We want to make sure we Cling this thing before it does anything to potentially get us. What do we have here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total mana. Spawn Grove Dancer or Forerunner Grove Dancer, but not both. We could... Cling is how many? 5 other cards. So it's actually pretty hefty to escape the Cling. We'll drop the known Swamp and... Let's get Spawn and Grove Dancer down. You expect a little bit of flood when you have a Wanderer, but boy, we have been flooding on top of that. They're at 13 cards to our 18, so maybe I do need to get rid of this Oblivion sooner than later. Yeah, just thinning the deck. The Forerunner is more important, so in the off chance that somehow this is a counterspell, I'm going to actually start on the Horn Beetle. No pause, so I think we're good. And we're ahead on library such that if we are like they can Sweet Oblivion, but we have Cling for that. So I think we can still get there in time. And then they want to trade off the Spawn here. We're happy about that. So we'll send in the... Mike wants to start failing to find. I suppose I should. I'll start failing to find now, but with Cling for the... if they start going for that, I think we're actually okay. Yeah, you think they might be hiding Oracle? Well, we didn't see it in game 1. Doesn't mean it's not there. 3 in the yard right now. We get Grove Dancer milling. So... oh, so they're going to help us. So 11 to 12. Goodness. Are you kidding me? We're under them now, so maybe y'all who wanted me to stop drawing lands were right. But again, I'm thinking of it in terms of winning before this happens anyway. We just got to stop this from actually winning by decking us, and I think we can get there via attack damage. And we can cling. Well, we've got the 5. Yeah, all right, let's just do this now then. All right, training is nice because we can get the spawn becomes a little bit more must kill, and we can get the horn beetle starting to grow. Oh, chain web is interesting too. Gives us a block on the singer. Oof. Spawn is going to get something here, but that's annoying. All right, well, we have 1 foul to give. We can still win 5 times. Also, we do have a lot of gasoline left in the deck here. I haven't looked exactly at what we have coming, but weird attack. I don't like, that's the thing I want dead the most. So we're gonna do this here. We have 6 cards in the graveyard. Nothing really to cling, but if we attack, I guess we make a chain web from the yard. We can make spawn from the yard too. A couple of spiders is interesting. Like, it's like chain web is like spawn, except we get to choose to kill the flyer. I mean, they all get something relevant, right? I mean, because if Threnody Singer is correct, they would just do that. Let's go spawn. And now if we send in, it's a 1-for-1 spawn for something. If we wait, what's the benefit? And if they bring back their spawn, we can just get rid of our Wanderer. That's no big deal. Of course, then they have a spawn. That's the big deal. With 8 draws left, maybe we just keep getting this beetle big. And then I think there is a... there's a Herald and a Blessing left in the deck. So if we get a big beetle and find our Blessing and Herald, we can maybe just get there with a trampling beetle. We can't cling yet, but I'm going to say no attacks, and we'll play the other spider. And try and draw out of this at least of our remaining cards. We only have 1 land in 7 cards. I mean, or 8 cards. So 1 in 8, 12.5% to draw a land. Oh, Lampad is interesting. That always tightens up your clocks. And gives them a sack outlet so they could bring back spawn. Even this, well, not this turn, because they've got exactly 6. Blessing. Yes. Blessing is here. What do we bless? Let's bless the spawn and kill the Lampad. Beetle or spawn? I guess beetle, because then if we find the Herald, we can make the beetle trample. And yeah, unfortunately, we got to get rid of this Lampad. We'll decline, and at least our next... We don't get Mire's Grasp or Acolyte, but we get the other 4 spells in our deck on top, which is Funeral Rites, Soul Reaper, Nyx Herald, and Brawler. Just taking a note of what 4 cards we're likely to draw, or what we're drawing from for our next couple of turns. So 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If they put literally everything on this, they could beat it. And what would we get? We would get a dead spawn and a dead 3/2. That doesn't seem right for now, but I can send in the spawn. And if they want to trade for that, that's okay. And then if they spawn back, yeah, that's okay, right? Spawn trades 1 for 1. Yeah, we could cling if... No, this is 5. All right, so they didn't bother to kill the spawn. They're just trading their spawn for... I think that's okay for us, right? Play the land. I mean, they get our spider or whatever, or our wander. We don't really need the wander anymore. I guess that's what we kill first. The real problem is then they have a 5/6, but we have a growing 6/8 here, and we're close to finding something that can get us there. All right, Herald is what the doc ordered. So we're gonna get effectively an 8/10 and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They don't even have the power to gang block it with everything and kill it, so that's great. And we could send in the spawn as well, but then they could 1 for 1 it again. And they have the fuel and we don't. So I'm just going to send the beetle only. And then next turn, we should have quite the alpha. I mean, they can bring back the spawn again, but we get to ditch the chain web. Yeah, we have now 3 in the yard. Chain web would be 4. To cling something, we need 2 more beyond it, though. I think we can't bring it back yet, though, because we don't have the... they found the extra power. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they will be able to get 11, but they got to put everything on it. And then I think then we end up with enough escape fuel that's good for us. Is Devourer a problem? I guess they can... 6, 7, 8. They can activate this. They draw a land 3 times. It still doesn't kill us. Right? And they have to self-mill to do that. Yeah, we could play Soul Reaper and sack it to itself. If we wait, what are we accomplishing? If we don't attack here. Yeah, we can eat the flyer and then that's good. Yeah, because... Ooh, I'm just going to do this. And do this. Since you all thought it might be a problem. I have 0 hourglasses here, so I'm just playing it as fast as I can. Then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they can't kill this, but they have to get in front of it so we can actually send the spawn as well. Right? Beetle only, says Mike. I guess they could just eat the spawn. Why beetle only? Isn't both better, Mike? What do they do if we send both? What's the downside here? I'm gonna send. I don't think they're gonna attack though. I mean, I guess we don't have good blocks going back or whatever. But look at the pressure we're putting them under here. Right, we just keep this combo going and feed it this, or even the spawn. I guess we can't sack the spawn to it. Yeah, Brawler is the only thing that's not... We can't sack the spawn because it's a Gorgon, and this is the least useful creature in terms of our win combo. Hopefully this is Oppo failing to find an answer and eventually scooping. Then get Lampad back. That's 3, 9, 10, 11 toughness. Funeral Rites is not castable for us. We can bring back a Chain Web, though. And that's going to be good. Yeah, we'll cling the spawn. They have to block the beetle, right? So we'll send everything and then cling the spawn, and then I don't think they have an out. Spider blocks. So they have to put, like, if 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, they have to put... I don't even think we keep Herald back. That's what I'm trying to figure out the math on. And I don't think we do. What do they block if we do this? They have to put spawn on the hefty trample, right? Or no, I guess they can go bounce 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We get 5 trample plus if we put it on the Herald, we can get the 3 there. No, never mind. Yeah, let's just keep the Herald back. It doesn't do enough. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. I got 0 hourglasses. Got to do something. And that felt a little safer. All right, so they're going to 1 here. And we're gonna web it just to have extra D. I don't know what their out plan is exactly, but I suppose they figured they needed to keep some stuff. Now they kept on top. Is this gonna... Do they have something for the beetle? I mean, maybe they have an answer to the beetle, but even then we just get to attack with everything else. If they remove the Herald, we have no trample, but then we have 3 attackers to their 2 blockers. So it doesn't even matter if they remove anything here. All right, what a grind, but we did get there. Now that we've seen basically their entire deck, do we see anything? We have 1 Singer. I'm just looking for other flyers. Vexing Goal and a Singer. So really, no plummets. I think we just run this back. A little stiff. Yeah, maybe it's for the best that I don't play under a chess clock. I play deliberately as it is, much less while streaming and talking. Or much more. All right, happy to be in this for game 3. I was pretty much thinking we weren't going to win and needed to be ready to move on. No black yet, but this is a fantastic opener for not having both colors of mana, so we'll keep. We get Wander into Dancer to try and find swamps. And then if we do, apparently into Renata, or Wander into Herald, even better. Well, they've got counter magic up. Let's offer them the Grove Dancer instead of the Herald if they have the deny. All right. I can't think of a flash spell that punishes an attack here. Oh, goal, but goal doesn't punish an attack. So yeah, we'll send. If they have goal, they have goal. Thirst. Yeah, they have multiple copies of Thirst. They only showed like one deny. Really hope they do something on their main phase that's okay, not devastating, so that we can then follow with an unchallenged Renata on our turn. If they leave mana up again, I might try a Funeral Rites, which gets past the deny. All right, that's actually not bad for us. We can kill this before the end of the game. Heck, we can kill this now if we want. But the point is, but more importantly, we get Renata down, and we get to look for land while we do it. Found some. Got rid of two others, so that was a great Wanderer result. Next turn, if they leave a bunch of mana up, we have possible Funeral Rites, then Warbriar, although Deny counters Warbriar, but not Funeral Rites. So if we did that sequence, it's not like we would be able to clear the way for the Warbriar by casting the Rites. Looks like it's not going to matter. We're going to get our open casting here, so we're going to drop a Forerunner. Or we could do a Herald plus Blessing, I suppose. That's also possible. Maybe Herald Blessing is better. Get two really important spells down while they don't have the counter magic for it. And we can kill... What do we want to kill? Devourer? I'm going to go Herald and then figure out what to kill. Probably the Devourer. And Renata. Yeah, do we want the... I guess we can just race the Lampad, right? Go for it, Devourer of Memory. I like where we're headed here. Because it lets everything get in. And we can get the Grove Dancer embiggened and send both. Of course, maybe I should have just done Renata because that gets it through, but they have to chump here and take 3, or we could have sent 7 that they could have prevented some of, so it's pretty similar. East, I'm not going to stop getting land off the Wanderer. I'm just not. I know, like, again, it's just based on what our approach is here. If we were looking like we were going to face a longer game, I wouldn't. If they get rid of Renata, then I'll consider it. But, like, basically, we just kind of want to win and not worry about the decking game. The value in not doing it is avoiding losing to decking way down the road. In here, boy, maybe we just do cut the Wanderer here, though. I think the Grove Dancer is actually more, is better for us. So now it's moot. We'll make that go away. Oh, what a draw. They have 3 cards in Yard. We could send in everything. We can make a big Renata. We could also just Hunt Master for serious trample damage. This becomes a 6/6 off Herald. Then Hunt Master gives it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more trample. So we're looking at 12 trample. 12 trample. Mike wants to set up for next turn. It does add quite a bit, 2 pips for the Hunt Master next turn, and we have 7 mana next turn. All right. So 8/6, they would have to put everything on it, and we get the spawn and 1 of these. Just still looking if there's an attack here, but I'll be patient per Mike's suggestion here. Next turn we can get Forerunner down and everything gets trample. And yeah, they do have the fuel right now already to recast it, so it doesn't matter. Let's say no attacks. Haven't seen a Final Death cast yet. See what they got here. Enraptured. And what else? Ooh, Grasp is nice as well, because we can Grasp and Hunt Master. Or we could Grasp and Forerunner. But I think we just Grasp the 3/2. We can even Grasp the spawn, I suppose. That means it can't eat stuff. Like, then everything has a decent attack, basically. Yeah, they might have counter magic. Should we try the Grasp first? On the spawn? Yeah, let's Grasp first and see what they want to do about that. Well, they paused, but then they let it happen. Now let's go with Hunt Master. If this works, great. If it doesn't, we do have Forerunner next turn. Man, should I split this up? What's going on here? I'm worried that they're going to do something to Renata and that we shouldn't move all in on her. But it is only one source of trample. That's the thing, Coolio. Coolio points out if we don't go for Renata, we don't get trample damage. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for Renata. Yeah, we saw most of their deck and didn't see any bounce. And we can even send in the Herald. Yeah, I'm going to send everything. You figure it out, Oppo. If you got something for the 17/6 Trampler, Almost no matter what they do here, they're going to have to do a lot of blocking to survive, and then we get Forerunner to give everything trample next turn. I think they're doing the math here, trying to figure out how to, like, survive at 1. But they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 toughness against 17. So they're taking 8 off the Renata, even if they block nothing but the Renata, and then everything else is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think they're dead. They're dead. Their whole board, I don't even think they live, because you get all of their toughness, they still take 9 from Renata alone. And then you pile on the other damage, and that's over 13. So I don't know what Oppo's doing. I don't think they have a win. I don't think they have a play here with a single black mana available. Yeah, cling for life. Like, even that I don't think is enough, Craig. But props to Oppo for making sure they don't miss a line. I mean, I don't know. I think I don't know what they could have for 1 black, though. And you do the subtract toughness from attacking trample, and you already get your answer. It's about to be forced upon them now. Good try, Oppo. All right, I thought we were gonna have to accept our first match loss on that one, but we scrapped back for a very narrow Game 2 win, and then Game 3 just kind of went our way. Got our good stuff down, and it was too much for Oppo. Let's get this record right. I didn't even get my first one recorded. We are 2-0. We already got some gems back and looking for a full-on return of our investment with the magical 3rd win. Double Renata is not what we want to see. 2 lands, not exactly. I'd like 3. But I'm also having a hard time sending this back when we have each of our lands. So I'm going to keep this. Any land gets us a Soul Reaper, and then Soul Reaper with training gets us a draw. So, and we found our forest even, so that's good. Pause from Oppo suggesting possibly Red Omen or Black Omen. Love that has cleared the way for a Renata. Kind of wish if they have removal for Renata, that's okay too, because we have a backup Renata. They have intervened, and we will use our second. Yeah, even if they kill this one, we can go. We can use Acolyte to go get one back. Not that one. No, I'm not taking phone calls right now. We could even just get a Myers Grasp back for the removal, but we're not as... Let's just torture him with Renata here. We even get Renata Funeral Rites next turn. We'll do rights first, just in case there's something else. Alro, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Gary, no big deal here. We're going to brawl that Maze Warden and go to town. Now, they could pump. Maybe we just brawl Gary. Because if we go for the Maze Warden, they can activate twice and trade for the Brawler, even as a 5/5. So we could just trade for Gary, get in a big smack, and even get some trampling going. Let's do that. Not... Oh, yeah, we got to do it this way, though. Could even train... I'll train Renata. Let's give her trample. Oh, was that you, MTG Phillip, with the black-blue deck? What a match. Great match. If you go watch the replay, I was lamenting how we were going to have to take a loss and move on, but barely scrapped back in that second game. That was great magic. Thanks. Oppo thought our start was pretty good. Black, red, what do we know? We know about Gary, we know about lots of removal. We could probably bring in Kling under the assumption that there's stuff to get out of the yard. And what do you think? Bring in the Kling? Kind of just against black, I kind of want to bring it in. We could drop a Funeral Rites. We've been dropping a Caryatid in the face of Mogus's favors. But I think I'll keep the Caryatid now. Yeah, I like drop a Spider. That's a good call, Mike. We didn't see any flying from them, so going down a Spider makes some sense. And I think I like everything else, though. Super solid keep for us. We got a Grove Dancer on 2, Herald on 3 with any land, then Training Blessing, making both of these better. Funeral Rites to reload, and Oppo on a mulligan. So just need a land, and then I'm going to feel awfully sweet about our situation. Wanderer makes it even better. Now we got Wanderer on 2, Grove Dancer on 3, if no land, to help try and find it. Ideal draw is a forest. Then we just get to throw down Nyx Herald, look for some land, and use all of our mana. That's not the best, but I'd still take a land off the top, please. All right, we found our land, and we'll go with the mana play here. Herald it up. Rights is fine. I'd love a land here, a forest if we could go training and try and find a forest. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a little bit greedy here. I could just bless away the land pad, but I want to train and see if we can find a forest. Play a land this turn. No land, but at least we got a little deeper in our deck, and we get some extra damage here. They can't really block. Well, my quick analysis of Philip's play is that it was great. I maybe we had a couple of questions about a couple of choices, but overall, I just felt like Philip did the right thing every time and made it as hard as possible on us. All right, found our land. That's good. They've got a lot of fuel, so if we let them have the spawn, you know, if we do the spawn thing, they just get to bring it back. That's kind of rough. Here's where spawn showing his value. They're not, they need 6 mana to do it though. So maybe our play is just to try to get in for as much as we can before they get to 6. You want to get the land pad while the getting's good, Mike? I suppose we don't want to kill the spawn anyway right now. All right, let's get Grove Dancer, kill Lampad. All right, that's good to see that they don't want to trade the spawn off yet. Yeah. I just want to get him dead before that spawn can take over. But we'll see. Oracle? Okay, Oracle. Can train and Caryatid here. They have 1 pump on the Oracle, so they have 6 total power that they can put on the Herald. So we can't really send the Herald if we want to make that trade. So yeah, let's go. I'm with Mike. Let's go rights. We'll hopefully find a land, and then we can just drop Caryatid and play a little bit longer of a game here. They're at 10, but we don't have a good attack with the Herald this turn. Typhon in the yard, not bad. Yeah, Blessing on Grove Dancer would have been interesting too, Hat. Hat like Blessing on the Grove Dancer because then we can... Oh no, Blessing on Grove Dancer wouldn't have killed the Lampad, but if you mean training? Training on the Grove Dancer sets up two tramples, but this does too. We can trample over there. Yeah. Getting back the Lampad. That's all right. Omening what? I don't care too much about that. If they're going to omen, I actually don't mind the Caryatid over the Dancer. They may be fearing a splash or something. Timmy! New thing to brawl if we can find a land. We can. I'm going to brawl Timuret. I don't want to lose the Typhon. Oh, yeah. And I owe you a meme.
There are some who call me Tim.
Well, they scried something to the top. That's not our favorite thing in the world to see. If we go here, what's it look like? Yeah, now we have an attack with the Herald. Now they're letting the spawn go. Understandable. They find a land, they can bring the spawn back. We give up the Grove Dancer. But then we have, like, Huntmaster making the Herald huge, so it's still not the worst here. We have a Mire's Grasp. We could actually Acolyte, get back the Grasp and shrink the spawn down. Kind of like that now. And then we have the Huntmaster play next turn still. And then they'll have 4 total power, which is not really enough. Cling is interesting. Let's see, 3, yeah, let's just do shrink the spawn. I like the spawn shrink play. And do we offer, yeah, we can send in, like if we want to, we could send in both of these. They would have enough to spawn back. We have this Acolyte to get rid of it. If they double block the Brawler, we just put all the damage on the Oracle and let the spawn stay there. So I'm going to go full control just in case they do the double block. But we'll swing both. Actually, we don't even need full control. I just need to order the Oracle first, and then it'll be fine. Looks like maybe they're reconsidering and wanting to put the spawn on the other one. No, yeah, so leave the spawn so that they can't pick off one of our attackers for next turn. Well, they pick off this one, I guess. But then Huntmaster on Herald is really nice next turn. And now I think, like, if they don't answer the Herald, we're going to be able to get there on Huntmaster. Plus training, especially. Training on the Acolyte to give it trample. 3 power trample here, and... So they have 4, 5, 6, 7 toughness. If everything gets trample, we're going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 total power after Huntmaster. 12 power of trample. They have to block everything and they go to 1. So I think that's going to be worth it. Yeah, we can just, since everything's going to have trample, we can do this. They have to block each. They can't, like, double block or they lose. I guess they could, maybe they could double block the 9, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they could double block the Acolyte, but I guess they're agreeing that that looked pretty good for us. Oh, I did. Was that game 2? I was. Oh yeah, it was because we brought in the Cling. I was thinking that was game 1 for some reason. We got it. All right. Look at this, chat. Quick. Well, not quick. A march to 3-0. And with that, let's go for another, shall we? Yeah, trample has been so important, right? Turning all of our green threats into must answer as opposed to must chump. Love it. We'll keep this. With no active 4 power, I think I'll go carry it on 2 for Triton Beetle on 3. Jake Noose, this is a buddy of mine actually. Hi Jake, I should ping him on Twitter. I play Jake here at Adams all the time, and I beat him all the time. So I'm sure he'll be thrilled to know that we're playing. I gotta tweet at him though. We're battling. Good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck. Okay, well, that's pretty scary in the face of our 2 1 toughness creatures in hand, but we're gonna go ahead and do our plan of both of these. If Jake doesn't kill the Caryatid next turn, we get to drop the Forerunner and really go to town. I think Jake knows he's playing against me. He knows my username. Well, this is our big graveyard recursion play. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get the Forerunner down now. There's an argument for getting the Wanderer out first, but I just want to get big. And now, like, gosh, do we offer the Beetle for the Annex? I mean, it doesn't matter when we offer the Death Touch. Like, we can... I should have... Like, this gives it trample at least, so that if they do block, we get a point of trample. But I think you're right, we should attack with it. Hat wants to send the Beetle too. Anybody else want to offer the Beetle for the Annex? It's about to get bigger than the Annex, though. I don't think I want to send the Beetle when it's going to grow, as far as we know. I'm just going to send the Death Toucher. This becomes must answer. Like, let's see if Jake can come up with the play here. Ooh, Blessing is great, but where will he go with it? Forerunner or Beetle? All right, Beetle dead. Yeah, I don't mind that attack either. I could race. I think we could race. Let's Funeral Rites first here. My daughter calling me. I don't even know where my phone is. That's my iPad trying to ring. And keep the Triton back now to keep Annex at bay. At Mike's house? Who Mike? I don't know what Mike is. Oh, Rocket is out. I thought you were talking about your area. Rocket has escaped. It sounds like Mom is on top of it. Thanks, Clara. Maybe I'll... Hold on. Doggy more important than magic, but he is at our neighbors, so it's okay. All right. All right, all right. So, we can brawl and dance this turn. If we brawl the aspirant, the brawler lives. Actually, we can only brawl and dance this turn if we brawl... Oh, wait. I am going to kill the aspirant and let the brawler live. And do some grove dancing. I see. Omen tricks. All right, well, we're getting rid of our 1 toughness. Jake is all about killing our 1 toughness stuff. But I'm all about going ahead and taking this trade. If we can get it. We want the Vandal. Let's see if the Vandal's working. I've had some of my memes not working, but here you go. Yeah, Vandal's not working, sorry. I gotta do a... Is Sailor working? Technology is so annoying. Sailor was broken and Vandal was working. Now Vandal is broken and Sailor's working. I don't know. That's from Mama, though. I certainly owed Mama that. Here we are with a Warbriar Blessing and nothing to kill with it of relevance. I mean, we could kill a Maze Warden, but that seems not worth it. I'm just gonna play the Swamp and pass here. Action, please. We get some action off the top. I think we're in great shape, but we're gonna right now we're losing to the Maze Warden, so need a little help here. Yeah, we can do some self-mill, find some action in the yard. funny. Down one Renata, but found another. And Renata plus Blessing is enough for the Warden here. And even if the Warden goes to 4-3, Renata survives. So perfect time to take out Maze Warden and try to get back in control of this thing. And those Satyr tokens can't block, so it's also a free attack. We have 6 lands left. 6 in 15. Oh yeah, it's just a dig 3. It's not look through your whole deck. Yeah, Grasp and Funeral Rites went to the bottom. All right, thought we were looking a little grim in game 1 there, but managed to come back and find the win against Jake here. We're looking at red-black sacrifice. We're going to get rid of our 1 toughness because they're just at huge risk here. So goodbye, Caryatid. Goodbye, Triton. And we'll bring in a Grove Dancer as kind of a generic, and we could bring Colossus as some big action, but if they got a lot of removal, I'd rather just stay a little bit smaller and either add in another Soul Reaper. Yeah, we could do like Soul Reaper, Hunt Master number 2, and drop a Spider. What do you think of that? I don't mind the 1 because, I mean, even coming back as a 4/5 is not bad. Yeah, Colossus is the thing I was thinking. We could also cut a Spider and just go big and add a Colossus to the mix. Might be worth it. Although I don't mind Spider getting a training too. We already added another Soul Reaper, so I think we're done there. My only question is whether we want this Colossus for the Spider or not. You know what? I think I'm going to do it. Spider not at its best here. I'm not expecting any flyers, and this seems to be about big ground game, and that qualifies. And actually, also against red, I didn't mention it, but it's worth noting that red-black has no ability to punish something just because it's an enchantment. So as far as that drawback of it being a 6-mana enchantment creature, it's not relevant against the red-black. And this looks great. We'll keep it. We'll Wander or Beetle. Which to start with? I guess with no 4 power readily available, let's go with the Wanderer. And even here, we're going to go Soul Reaper over not using our mana effectively. Ooh, sad Grasp, no lands. Not the best Warden or Wanderer trigger ever. That's true. Libation could punish it, but probably at that point we'll have other things. But yes, red and black, not inherently the color of punishing aura use. So I like Horn Beetle. We'll go with training on the Soul Reaper. Another Hunt Master went to the bottom, by the way. So both our Hunt Masters are now down below. They've shown like Red Omen, but I don't think there's a flash that we're worried about here. So we'll go Horn Beetle now, and then next turn we can train the Mogus again and make it a 4 power. If Jake doesn't take out the Beetle. This is the first 2 or less toughness creature we've played, and he showed 2 Red Omens, so I kind of think we're going to lose our Beetle to an Omen here. But it becomes kind of must play, and then we still end up with this Wanderer Soul Reaper thing going on after. We get to train. Maybe we'll train the Wanderer if we lose the Beetle. Yes, we could have trained the Mogus twice, but I liked getting a Beetle out. Are you suggesting you would have Soul Reaper twice? Yeah, but if they don't tap out, if they leave Omen mana up, they can still get it. But maybe we can get it if they tapped out. Yeah, we could do it that way. Certainly suggesting they don't have that. I'm gonna go. Let's go ahead and train the Mogus. Yeah, we could have done a rights check. They could absolutely play a land, portent, and sack the thing. But I think we're pretty good even under that condition. If they steal the Soul Reaper and sack it, we still have a 3/3 and a 1/3 back. We drop a Brawler that's going to pump the Beetle, or Renata. You know, we're still in good shape, basically. Although I could... Since we are in good shape, I'm going to not play the Funeral Rites. We're going to leave up Soul Reaper activation. Yeah. Then if they have the Portent play, we get a card out of it instead of taking a bunch of damage. And since the Funeral Rites doesn't add to the damage that we're doing to them, it doesn't increase our clock at all, I like holding up the failsafe against Portent here. Blessing, not the thing we were expecting, but still gives us the result of getting value out of the death of our creature. And this looks great for us. We get to brawl and attack with 5. Unless Jake has something very significant right here for 2 mana that I'm not thinking of. Like maybe if Jake comes up with a grasp for the Beetle, like that would have been good. As it is, we're just gonna brawl and brawl. Red, rare, 4 damage, everything would get him back to neutral, but I even like our follow-up after that, so... Oh, Rocket, come here. Crowan War is solid. But we get to, let's see, let's go Renata. And and Herald. And those are both summoning sick, so nothing heralding can attack anyway. Can't trample the beetle. But let's see. Now we'll just wait and attack next turn. We can send both, and then we get them to 1, and they trade the beetle off and get to 1. Is that worth it? As opposed to just... I mean, I guess it turns anything into lethal. Yeah. What about it? Yeah. I know we're attacking next turn. That's our plan. I'm just wondering why attacking this turn is better. We get them to 1. They lose their defender, but then they can, you know. All right. I'm not sure if this affects our win percentage all that much. I don't know if it does, but I'll attack. It seems very, very close to the same to me. Because the difference between 1 and 2 is that Wanderer is lethal, right? So now we've made Wanderer a lethal threat. All right. Good game, Jake. Good match. Marching towards 5. Can we get there? Let's find out. I haven't bought the season pass yet. I think we could. I think we probably have the value in it already. I usually just wait until the math supports it from a gem and gold standpoint. But heck, we could do that. Maybe we'll do that today. We know we're gonna get there. Maybe it'll complete our set of Theros or help on that front. Yeah, we'll keep this. Any land gets us rights or herald on 3. Okay, so we can't even get Theros packs? Oh well. I'd still do it if the value's there, and I think it will be for us, so whatever. Ah, good. Found our land. That was going to be pretty important. We come up with that. Let's go Soul Reaper this turn. Although getting Herald down when they're tapped out doesn't suck. Yeah, let's go Herald. Missed on land, which is too bad because it kept Renata. Unusual to see blue-red cast stuff on your turn in the 4-0 bracket. But we got to go for some land, so let's Funeral Rites here. Usually this is not the deck I fear, but I fear any deck that's made it to the 4-0 bracket, so we should be prepared for quality, although I love that we get a Renata down too. through possible counter magic. And a 3/4 trading for one of the tricksters. Do we want to trade Herald for a trickster? We have acolytes. We could get Herald back. And I am afraid these are going to get big, but let's say no. Hey, Matt. No, we just finished. I took Jake out 2-0, though. So just kind of like reliving Magic at Adams. Ouch. That's my buddy Matt, also a regular at Adams. Matt was the... I was the hare and Matt was the tortoise in season 1 of our draft league at Adams. I took an early lead and then kind of stopped showing up, and he almost caught and beat me. That was close. Okay, so we could acolyte back Renata, but I think just...
I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Thank you for that sub. Appreciate that. A nice gift from Nantuko. Is that part of our debt payoff? Okay, so Hornbeetle, let's see, we can go Hornbeetle and Mogus, and then next turn Forerunner activates Hornbeetle, or next turn we brawl something, probably brawl the Naiad. So yeah, I'm gonna go Hornbeetle, Soul Reaper, and then try to find a land to drop Brawler, and if we miss on that, we can find a land, we can at least cast the Forerunner. Maybe I want to chump with the Chain Web as well, and start getting that available. There's no Graveyard Punishment in blue-red, so our escape stuff will be valid, right? Oh, funny. Thanks, Nantuko. Yeah, I will go ahead and get the Chain Web in the yard. Yeah, not what I wanted to see, but we do have the Forerunner play still. They have mana open, so we could get countered here. But actually, the Forerunner getting countered when we have Brawler, Spawn, and Acolyte waiting in the wings is not the worst. So I'm going to offer them Forerunner here. Kind of his must counter, right? Oh, Omen, okay. Killing the beetle before it gets too big. Makes sense. So, I've never run more than one Trickster in any deck, and it was because I had to. It'd be funny to get, after a 4-0 start, get whipped by some cards that I just don't ever play. Really, Silo? In non-red-blue decks? So you've been playing a lot of red-blue? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Like, if you like Trickster, is it because you like red-blue, or you find yourself in red-blue a lot, or are you finding ways to make use of Trickster outside of that archetype? Blessing. Blessing, we can make a 5/5 here. I guess let's start with a Wanderer and then go for the Blessing and see if we can't find some land. Oppo showing a pause here, and Naiad means they have 3 mana available, so we could even get the Blessing countered. Let's give it a shot, though. Gotta do what we gotta do. Ooh, dismissal, like the worst of the things it could have been. Like, this is not great, but I still don't hate our situation if they don't find card draw. If they find card draw, actually, maybe we're just in trouble because of the size of their stuff. And here I like, yeah, we have to go, let's go block, block, and chump. And then we get to keep one of these two around, kill one of their attackers. So we have one chump for next turn. Unfortunately, I think we're dead. Like, because, like, even if they do nothing here, we're kind of dead. And then they still have two cards in hand. Disappointed. Didn't they already? Yeah. Chump the 5/5. It doesn't matter this turn, though. It's. What do you mean, Mike? Oh, sorry. I meant Nantuko. But Nantuko's already figured it out. I've also figured out that we are super dead. Gonna have to get him in 2. Or in 3. I don't want to lose to that. I'm not going to lose to stupid tricksters. Didn't see any... I don't know. This deck looks worse than ours. I'll say that. I would take... Based on what I've seen, I would gladly have our deck over theirs. But not saying their deck isn't good. Clearly has a lot of synergy and is doing stuff. What are we doing? I didn't see any reason to bring in a plummet. We could bring in a Moss Viper, actually looking decent against their ground forces. Yeah, it's obviously where the trickster belongs. There's... Don't like losing to cards I don't play. We could bring in... Let's drop a Spider for the Viper. And again, we didn't see... Red-blue isn't going to really punish enchantmentness. They can bounce it or whatever, but they're not going to punish its enchantmentness. So maybe we do that as well. And again... Usually I want to keep the spiders in against blue, but I think... Yeah, that's true. But we just have to play around bounce and know that it's in there, right? And I'm just going to let this go. I think we're fine without it. I think this is fine. I still like one spider, even if I'm not seeing a lot of flyers. Ugh. So close. I don't think this is close. What do you think? Just prone to flood right here. Heavily prone to flood. I'm going to mulligan. Keep this and ditch a forest. That's good too. No pause means they don't have dismissal in hand right now. Offering the Viper. Armchair. Yeah, we'll just go Typhon. They could switch to Typhon if they play an enchantment here. It's kind of funny. It's gone from blue-red, do stuff on your turn, to blue-red Constellation here based on one rare. If we can get a couple lands here, we can fight something nicely. And this should be our first step towards land. Although, let's actually offer them a spider. If they're going to counter it, I'd rather them counter this. And it's very tempting. It's got escape. They are showing some pausing here. Probably means red omen. That's my guess. Yeah, we're in the double Manticore in a play stuff on your turn deck is quite real. They can get the Grove Dancer, the Viper, or the Armchair with that. But I mean, what do? We gotta play our stuff and make them have it, etc. I guess we send in a Viper. If they have something, they're gonna kill it anyway. And if they don't have something, nah, I guess we leave it back for that reason. Yeah, we just say no attacks. Yeah, Omen kills Typhon. All right, they're going for the Grove Dancer. I don't mind that at all. If we can find ourselves a land, then next turn we can brawl one of those away. We'll brawl the rare. Brawl the one that's a copy. Kind of want him to main phase a Trickster or something here. Yeah, that works too. I mean, with 1 mana and a Naiad, they can cast, like, Blue Omen from here. Almost no matter what they turn the rare into, we're gonna brawl it. Yeah, Mantle we've seen and would be rough, it's true. Boy. We didn't get Brawl mana anyway, so let's drop Renata, see if we find a land. We'll get Forest. Yeah, doesn't seem like they have Deny, but we didn't have the Brawler mana anyway. We could offer some of these things. But I think we say no. You want to swing Typhon? We would trade. You want to trade Typhon for one of these? Yeah, Mike's right. Mike's usually right. We don't care if they trade. We're close to being able to get it back anyway. I mean, not graveyard wise, but like again, they're not going to mess with our graveyard, so it will become a 7/7 at some point, and it takes it off the board for them to copy if they want. Surprised they're going for the rare here, and they must be saving it. Oh, I see. They're going to copy the... They should copy the Typhon, right? Good play from Oppo. But we got the Mantle out of their hand, and as Mike points out, this is coming back at some point. So I didn't mind that. The biggest problem is that now we can't just fight this. It was a good play from Oppo, but I still think it was smart to make him do it. Make him use those resources on something we can get back. Interesting. I'm also down with the double block here. Yeah, I can fight with counters, that's true. We just take it, but how many times can we do that? Renata, how is Renata fighting? We fight because the card says it fights, not because we get to choose. But you're saying this makes it big enough. I mean, it makes it big enough to trade. Depends on what you're trying to fight. I guess I'll say no blocks here. Renata with a Brawler next turn as a 5/5 could matter. Yeah, we could chump with Spider. That would be another play. Nand. We can do that next turn too. All right. Well, Brawler getting War Leader with no possible intervention is nice. We'll do that. That's a solid 2-for-1 right there. We could send in Renata, and if they want to block, they need to block with both. I'm also fine with that. I'll take a 2-for-1 off Renata if they want. Oh, sorry, 1-for-1. I was thinking it was. I didn't think that was a trade. It's. Is that okay? It's still okay. Yeah, I just misread the board, Mike. I can't seem to add to 4 or whatever. I still don't mind that trade. I think we're going to be happy to get that off the board and get our, get this Typhon going either from a land draw or carry to the turn after. And now let's go ahead and chump the Chain Web. Oh ho! I'm going to start on Caryatid. See if they want to counter that, because there was a pause there, but they snapped no count. They snapped past through it. No, it was somehow I was looking. Honestly, Mike, I think my dumb brain looked at Renata's toughness and their toughness, and I was like, oh, the toughnesses match up good. But turns out, to do combat math, folks, you need to look at the opposing creature's power and your creature's toughness. Don't ever forget you come here for the good stuff. All right, and good stuff. We're going to try Affliction. We'll see if it works. Yeah, Brawler dead before Affliction is interesting, but they might counter it. Yeah. I'm going to no attack, and then we get our Typhon. Let him counter that. Or let him counter that, because an 8/8 will, or a 7/7 will be nice. Just seems like more wrecking for us, but we could also throw like everything on it, and I mean, this is a fake dude, so it could become at best a 4/4. It can't get any bigger than this. But if they have a second mantle, we can double block and get it. You're gonna chump with the Wanderer. With the 7/7 coming, I like double blocking here, and well, doesn't a 2-block get around Mantle? How, like, Mantle makes this a 6/6, right? And this still gets it. Oh, if they have Dismiss and a Mantle, but I kind of want this in case we don't find land, so that we can get this Typhon out. I'm going to not play around 2 things. We'll play around 1 thing here. And if they want to bounce either of these to, it's fine. Let's get our 7/7 on. Well, let me make sure. How much do we have? Yeah, we have a lot of fuel. Good. Do they have another counterspell? Okay. Yeah, Stern Dismissal were close to dead. But not dead, right? Yeah, it's been pretty annoying. Oppo just like, yeah, I've got all the cards at all times and you can't do anything, so suck it. And sure, like another thing to draw. Why wouldn't you, Oppo? Why wouldn't you have all the tools all the time? Well, we're losing to a deck I don't particularly like, but happens. No, we can't. We're at 4. We're at 4. We're not winning that one. Well, that's the best I've seen a blue-red deck do ever. Literally ever. And I still didn't like it. I still think they just got... They outdrew us at all the right times. I would take my deck. Would you... Okay, Mike, would you take theirs or ours? What do you like? You're going to play that matchup 100 more times. Do you want our deck or theirs? Maybe they just have a good matchup against ours. Just curious what you think on that front. We'll keep this. I have a very bad memory, though, so as far as I'm concerned, Fluffy, I've never lost to a good blue-red deck. And I still haven't, as far as I remember. We could play Grasp on that, but let's just build our board first. Let's see. I am nervous about racing here. I could Grasp, but I think we should play the Caryatid and make sure we get some mana next turn. So let's do this. Is taking that trade bad? I think the Herald is excellent. I did not want to take that trade, but it does use up their turn, so maybe that's your thinking. Like, it's a trade that causes them to spend their whole third turn on that. But I'm going to see if we can't win a race here. I mean, it's red-green, so maybe I'm being a little greedy, and we're short on mana, but we do have some good tools to win a long game here against this deck. It's funny, because it was the presence of gasoline that made me not want to bother. All right, well, we found a land and we have the Caryatid. So we've got 5 here if we want it. We could Funeral Rites, Grasp. We could just Forerunner. I think we need to Grasp the Chimera now, though. Or we could just leave the Caryatid back to potentially block, you know, threaten a trade there and just play like a 4. That's another thing we could do. Drop the spawn. But if we're close to being able to brawl and get double mana and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and... What do you think? Yeah, Forerunner lets it, but we race. Like, this is a bad racing situation. I think we need to take care of the Chimera. I'm going to take care of the Chimera. And yeah, we'll take the rights here. Which is rough from a racing standpoint. Now we may be in the spot where we do offer the trade that that Steven wanted so long ago. We're no longer winning the race. Yeah, we're going to be defensive now and try to use our long game. And I will offer the Oracle for the Herald here on the similar reasoning to what Steven was talking about. Besides, we get with the Forest and the Brawler, we also get to brawl no matter what. So, like, taking a trade here and then brawling with another thing and then forerunning and spawn. Like, I just think we get there if we play it super conservatively with our life total right now. All right, Manticore is not how I wanted to see them solve the problem, but again, I think we're okay. We can brawl the Rider and then trade Brawler for Oracle. Or we can spawn... No, let's just brawl. I'm overthinking it. Spawn, trade Caryatid was one of the lines I was considering, Robert. I ended up just going for the Myers Grasp to be the sure thing. Like, because, for example, they had Aspect. If we had tried to block Chimera, they might, they did have answers. So I did like getting, somebody pointed out, like, let's grasp them while they're tapped out. Did we have... I didn't think we had 2 mana, and Spawn wouldn't have done that. We didn't have 4 power anywhere. And that's a great point from Mike, that we don't want to... This has an exile clause. More war leaders. We're just facing war leaders in the upper echelons of this event. One, two. We're gonna have 8 total mana next turn if we forerunner first, but we can't do anything with 8 mana. So I guess we can go Typhon Spawn. That's our play next turn. Right now, take it back. We can do 8 mana. Yeah, let's just do that. True enough. War leaders are cheap on Arena, and they're fine. I'm not dissing this card. I've played it. Does 4 power stuff, does sacrifice stuff. The sudden 5/5 menace thing is a real deal too. But that being said, it's still just kind of a generic replaceable 5. You expect that level of power for 5 mana. Well, you don't see how they can win? We don't know what else they got in their hand. They could have a lot of stuff that could get them out. Hydra's Growth, for example. Although if they go all in on that, we just block with the spawn and bring it back. Attack! Do it! Don't count my graveyard, just attack. And Nanda, stop that. Nandol, with your how can they possibly win from here nonsense. We can go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can Typhon and Arachnir. Although if we Typhon, we lose the fuel for eventual spawn. And I think we need to spawn our way out of this if we have any chance. And they're going to add creatures to the board to try and prevent that from happening. Let's go Forerunner Arachnir. Nandu. You got it, Nandu. Now stop jinxing me. Send in spawn. If we send in spawn, they just take it. We want to leave spawn back and... yeah, I don't know why you want to send in spawn. What do you think is going to happen? You think Oppo is going to excitedly eat our spawn? Now, they'll probably send in the war leader and offer the spawn because, hey, we can't... Okay, they're not even attacking yet. They're just trying to get the long game going. How do we want to do this? I guess we Soul Reap here. And we don't have any reach out and kill. Like, we don't have a final death. So to get rid of this thing, we need to do what? We need to spawn it. Like, that's the only thing we can do. And if Oppo is smart, they'll just wait till they get enough out that we can't spawn ourselves out of this situation. We don't have a Death Toucher in the deck. We have one in the sideboard. Oh, wait, we do. Mire Triton. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, we have one. Mire Triton. Good call, Chunk. Or... Yep. So Mire Triton's our other out. Sneck is in the sideboard hat. Probably sack a spider to draw before we untap. I guess we could sack a spawn and then start that process. Yeah, I think we have to sack spawn and then cast it next turn and hope that we can just loop that enough. And we actually have 6 mana. We might want to sack 2 things, like sack web, spider, and spawn. I utterly annihilated back-to-back Hydra's Growth decks offline yesterday. It was great. Wish I could have shown it to all the Hydra's Growth lovers. Punish the heck out of the Hydra's Growth decks. Sometimes they punish you, but also I would point out that even times like this is the type of situation that people like Hydra's Growth in, ostensibly, because we're not doing anything about it. But look how long it's taking for this card to actually even get us. They can't attack. If they attack, we get a chump and a eat the Chimera, and then the spawn just totally works. All right. There's grass gone. Interesting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 10 mana. 6 going to the spawn, and then we can wander a train. Yeah, spawn, save mana to sack is actually maybe correct. Yeah. Let's see, do we have the tools for it? Yeah, we can even, with 3 other cards in the yard, we can do it again next turn if they don't come up with a creature. So, let's see if they can. I mean, it's unlikely, but if they can't find a creature here, we have found a way out. Well, we were going to sack this anyway, so let's do this. 5, 10. Can't quite get 15 damage on it. Yeah, we're going to sack it and draw for sure, but need priority to do that. Blessing is great, actually, because now if they follow up with 1 creature, we can bless and kill it and spawn to get the war leader. Oh, man. Coming up, Millhouse. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Is there instant speed creatures I'm not thinking about in red, green? Probably not. Hopefully not. Also, should I sack something so we don't have to give up both of these? We could sack, let's see, 8, 9, 10 mana. So we could tap this for mana, sack it. Yeah, we could play a spider and sack it too. And still get the spawn. But that doesn't really matter, because... Yeah, whatever. Whatever, we'll just do it this way. Yeah, I'm not trying to slow roll. Magic's hard. Exactly. Suck it, Hydra's growth. Sorry, but I really like beating that card. Red, green, all in. They've got enough. They've got something worth clinging, so let's bring in Cling. Yeah, Danger Noodle seems okay, although it's going to die a lot. But that's okay. Let's bring that in. We liked the Death Touchers. And let's cut... What are we cutting? 1, maybe both spiders? Still at 16 creatures, nice and healthy. Spiders aren't doing anything here, except being reasonably big. I don't mind it as just a a big thing out of the yard, but like, looks like we want to spend our escape fuel elsewhere. Let's run with this. Let's try this. All right, looks good. Triton with Blessing is a fantastic 1-2 punch, making this a 2-3 that fights something ostensibly with 2 or less power. Pretty good. And I'm gonna go with Triton. We can go Beetle or Blessing next turn, depending on the situation. That's annoying. Makes me want to almost bless and trade now. Although, we'll let them. I guess they have the Manticore. If they get the Triton on our next turn, so be it. But we have tools for that. If they tap out, we can potentially end up blessing it. Now, I don't remember seeing too much instant speed. Yeah, Aspect was a flash aura they had. Maybe I'm just supposed to be sending the Triton? Well, now Triton can at least trade for something before the Manticore can do anything, we hope. All right, this is good. Ooh. I was gonna say we get Huntmaster down and grow the Beetle. We could Wanderer Blessing, but that doesn't seem good. We'll save that. We'll go Huntmaster here, get the Beetle growing. And could offer this. I guess, would we attack with a 4-2 Death Touch, or do we want to keep it back on D? I guess we want to keep it back on D anyway, so this doesn't really matter. And we could send a 5-3, but I'm not trading for the Manticore, so we just do nothing. Okay. Now I kind of like taking the Rage Hounds and just waiting till the Beetle's big enough to start eating them. And then we maybe need to Triton the War Leader with the Blessing. But I'm going to take this for sure. Funeral Rites, interesting. We'll save that, though. I think Wanderer plus Blessing on something here is what we want to do. We can get through combat first so the Beetle gets bigger. And I'm going to put this on the Huntmaster and fight the Manticore. Well, we could bless with the Beetle. Where do we want to put this? We put it here. We're putting eggs in one basket. What I like about the Huntmaster is that this grows, and they both get... And this can sit here and block hounds indefinitely. And then this grows big enough to get the War Leader. So I'm going to do that, and let's make 2 big butts on our side. And we still got the Death Toucher threatening the War Leader as well. If they only send in the must attack Rage Hounds, well, this is different. Now, what are we afraid of? I guess they could have Infuriate. I guess they could have that. Darn it. But we get to eat some doggies. Or one doggy. I'm going to save this one. Ugh, land, land, land. Too much land. Well, that was a nice mill, given my land complaints, although we still managed to find one in the draw. Still, we can get a 5/5 Huntmaster here. It's already big enough to block everything. I'm still going to train it, though. They're April Fool's card backs because they have 6 colors of mana on it, see? All right, I'm calling. If they did a nice slow roll here and somehow have like the aspect, I just got to tip the cap. More Death Touch. $17 to $27 on deck health, in case you're wondering. So we have to win this by damage. We are not going to win any kind of race to the bottom of our libraries. So being that I will aggressively activate Grove Dancer and aggressively wander. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. Love that dude. That would have been a sweet, sweet draw. As much as those hurt, though, again, be disciplined, folks. You can't not do it just because you're afraid of milling something you like. If you do that, you have a leak. As I observed to somebody else. Like BJ. BJ saying, no Grove Dancer activation. What? Why? Why would we not activate our Grove Dancer? So? That's still some. And we have escape cards. If we mill our escape creatures, we're going to be thrilled. And we want escape fuel, no matter what it is. Well, that doesn't even matter. We're gonna the Nessian Wanderer throws off all of your math on where stuff is in library. I mean, every time we trigger this, it changes the deck, right? Yeah, we're basically digging for spawn. Digging, if we mill spawn or Typhon, we're so happy. Like whether we draw it or mill it, we're thrilled. So that's why you keep milling in the face of. We could attack with Triton, but I like it on D. I guess we could attack and leave the Moss Viper back on D. Are we happy with a Triton trading for like a Chimera? Yeah, again, You people with the bottomed, stop it with the bottomed. Have you read Wanderer? I don't care where things are in the library. It just doesn't matter. Oh, it's on the bottom, you say? Is it on the bottom? Huh. I don't see it on the bottom. We could train... Oh, trample on Triton is interesting. I think they just end up trading it off if we do that. Is there any better place to put this? Not really. Renata, Kling, and Herald going to the bottom. There's one of course, of course. Isn't that what happened to us last time? Wow. Kind of want to sack and draw. But I'll start sending the Triton. That's fair. That's the trade I was expecting. They've got fuel to bring it back, but we need to move through that fuel anyway. And their fuel includes other escape cards, so if they're going to escape, they got to chew up escape. We have 10 cards left. We got to make sure we can win from 18 in our final 10 cards. Really want that Brawler or Spawn. This is game 2. We have 1 win. Sorry, my UI is covering that info right now. Do we need to start sacking stuff to draw the important stuff? I kind of feel like we do. Like, I think the Grove Dancer stops now because we should sack it to draw cards. We have 10 pieces of fuel in the yard as well. Mill is similar to draw in this case. You're not wrong. But we do need to win before we run out of cards. I'm going to draw... Let's see. We'll mill once. And then I might sack and draw. Then I think I'm going to sack and draw. Oh, Brawler. Ouch. Harsh, harsh, harsh. Got the wrong order. We were supposed to mill the Typhon and draw the Brawler, but this is still okay. Can we afford the funeral rites? That's pretty hefty to our library. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We go to 3. Can we win in 3 draw steps with this? Can't really afford it. So Typhon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sack Typhon. We can sack 2 things, including the Typhon, to bring it back next turn. Yeah, we can sack the Wanderer now. That's fair. We can just do it now and see if we find anything else we want to play here. What can we draw for 3 mana that we want? Grasp, Cling to Dust, Nyx Herald are all things we could find and play. Yeah, we could attack with Snake too. Sure, let's attack with Snake. If they want to come back at us, that's actually good. So we should keep sending in Snakey Snake. I don't care if they attack with a war leader. They can't attack, right? I think if they attack, they're in big trouble. Grasp. Should we grasp here or wait? Grasp now. We can't sack the Typhon. I guess I'm going to wait and we'll save the grasp for next turn. And sack the Typhon. So we make it a 7/7 instead of a 4/4. Yeah, we might want to use it on escape. But Hodge points out, we could have done it and had an attack with a 4/4. I think this is okay, though. Yeah, that's true. I screwed up Hodge by not thinking through that sack and draw before I entered combat. So a little punt last turn in terms of my sequencing. Now, we could just draw a card off the Viper and do the grasp on the 4/7 and swing away with everything. Or just even attack with the Viper. Maybe I shouldn't do anything. Yeah, the 4/4 was summoning sick. No, I'm going to leave the Viper. I'm just going to draw. I think this is okay. So, spawn is interesting. Can we 6, 7, 8, we have 10, 11 mana. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we can't do it all. So, yeah, okay, let's start with these two. Let's just do this. See what they want to do. And then all will become clear after this. Let's start with the grasp of the war leader. And interesting, we can make a 7/7. Is that just better than even bothering with the spawn? We have a training left. No more training. We do have a herald left, though. Yeah, drawing a card's not bad. I think we're going to win or not on the damage, but I don't think we're going to... I mean, if we get milled out, it'll be because they solve our creatures, and that's all there is. Because we were okay with this thing dying. It's possible I just didn't think it all the way through, Hodge, but making a 7/7 was appealing, I guess. Yeah, I should have sent the 5/5. Definitely did not play last turn great. I'll acknowledge that. Gonna see if we can come up with a win anyway, but as Hodge talks it through with me here, I'm realizing that was not the optimal line. Definitely not the optimal line. Somehow still finding land in our deck. 4 left. Don't get the 7/7. What do you mean? I think we send in these 3. Maybe we just send in everything. We're at 11. They have 9 on a crackback, but we're going to play Spawn. I'm going to play the Spawn now. That was because, well, if I hold the Soul Reaper back, it doesn't matter. But like playing the Spawn gives me the possibility of running out the Soul Reaper. But maybe we just send in the big stuff. They can't get both of these, right? So let's send both of these, and then we have a great turn next turn. Hodge wants to swing all. You want to send this, like, just these 2? I was showing Spawn before attack so that if I could use the Soul Reaper and sack it if I needed to. I'm going to do this way. Yeah, they may have something here, but we got to go for it. And we at least have Infuriate. Infuriate. Sure, so we can draw, and we do want to draw. Right? It's a little dicey, but we want to draw. Cool. Forerunner's a good play, too. Tight one. I'm not playing my best here, but maybe it's enough to win. They're only going to have 2 blockers. We can sack and spawn, and then we have, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points of trample, which should be enough. 15 minus 7 is still 8. What? Don't sack? Mike says don't sack. We just have the right amount of trample. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 trample, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Yeah, I guess we're lethal here if they don't have anything. Yeah, Mike's pointing out that the spawn play just removes toughness that is already covered for in the trample. So we have Renata to save us from a lethal crackback. Let's send in everything and see what happens for starters. Currently, we win. So right now, we just say next, and if they don't do anything, it's fine. But they got to do something, right? All right. We just win. Whew. Wow. I've had some not shining moments in 5-0s here, five wins the last couple of days, but we did get another 5 win. That's pretty cool. Yeah, maybe they didn't count the trample. I don't know. Magic's hard. That was tough to process, the end of that game. I'm sure if the best players in the world all sat around and dissected that one, they'd come up with a long list for you of things we could have done a little bit better, but we played well enough to win at least. I'll add this to our decks and claim this prize. Now we're going to go and look at... I'm going to open these packs because we are closing in on the mythics. And this is also remind me to tally up grind here. So that's 20. 40. Oh, Mike, I need to get going. So I'm going to say no to further challenges. 60. I did it once from this account. 80. 100. How about a mythic? Jeez, 120. Mythic. Wow, 140 on the grind, but no additions to our collection, which I'm trying to complete. Making a grind note there. And then I'm going to go ahead and also have the fun of buying a mastery pass. The value will ultimately be there for us with the way we play this account. So I guess that's, where is this in here? Yeah, we've already got the whole thing anyway, right? So good, let's do it. Ready?
You are out there, John. I send my love.
Got to count the grind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this doesn't really count towards the grind. This is just the value proposition of the package. Although I guess I should, maybe I'll count this purchase in our spreadsheet. So I will count it. 1, 2, 3. We got 4 at 40. Yeah, I got a lot of gems back and got some gold back, so this is annoying. I wish there was they have suggest pick, but I wish it could be just like, just do it all. Can you just do it? Just do it. Don't make me click. Oh, draft ticket, that's nice. We'll use that maybe tomorrow. Yeah, putting the mastery orbs one by one. I need to like get a 3-year-old who would find it fascinating and awesome. Anybody got a 3-year-old they can loan me? You can't loan me a 3-year-old right now. Social distancing, etc. All right. Anyway. Back-to-back 5 wins in traditional. Maybe I should just stay away from the best of 1 queues, huh? Some rough play at the end there, but we got across the finish line with max win intact. Felt pretty good. And we will... Oh, you want to crack more packs? No, I'm not going to do it. Too annoying. Also, because there's nothing in there for us except while it's just a bunch of gems. Like, if you want to see a bunch of little cards that looks like gems, we could do that. But that's basically all that's going to happen if we open those on air. So what I'll do is open them and add that to the tally of our gem grind off of the Mastery Pass purchase, and I'll make a Mastery Pass entry in the spreadsheet. But I want to say thank you to our YouTube friends. We'll catch you at the next draft. See you. Thanks for hanging out.